Yeah, the mic's on. Marie, are you ready?
Hey, Jordan. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't know if they're ready, though.
Well, let's see. Hey, good evening. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good night to everyone globally.
Globally. That's right. We're live on Just Cool Radio.
Definitely. Welcome back to Evening Talks with Just Jordan and Marie.
Yes. Big up the Facebook.
Definitely.
Big up everyone.
And the TikTok and the Instagram.
Yes.
Can't forget those social media platforms.
Come on.
See, I'm getting used to these now, these social media platforms. I wasn't allowed by my sons to go on it, but I'm getting there.
You're a pro now, Marie. You're a pro.
I wouldn't say that much, but I'm getting there.
Yeah. That's right. See, Anton said she's a director, you know. Yeah.
I'm getting there. So, Jordan, how has your week been so far?
You know what? Hasn't been too bad, you know. Hasn't been too shabby. I am on a quest to keep the momentum, keep the ball rolling, you know, and keep traveling. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I don't want to come to a sudden halt or anything. Just keep the ball rolling. Do you know what I mean? And thankfully, it has been working quite well because I've had a lot on in my personal life recently, and just staying in the momentum of things has really helped me, you know, be in the right kind of place. So yeah, it's been good. I had a good day today, but perhaps I'll touch on that a bit later. But yeah, the week has been good, Marie. How has yours been?
Well, so far it's been a blessed week. The weather's been beautiful. I love when the sun comes out.
It has.
But yeah, it's been good. I passed my final assignment.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, tell me you kept that one secret.
Alright, let's go.
So
let's go.
I'm happy. That's out the way now. So probably looking forward to do the next stage in the path that I'm going down. But yeah, I'm well chuffed, you know.
That's what's
having
up.
the demands of like work, family, personal life, as well as our beautiful station that we have to come to every Thursday. But yeah, it's worked out, so I'm really got to give God thanks.
That's what's up.
Progress we are saying, you know?
That's right. Now, that made my evening still, because I remember when I spoke to you the other day, you said you was doing your assignments. I was like, okay, cool, sweet. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm glad, Marie. I'm glad. Well done. I'm proud of you, Marie. I'm proud of you. Champion.
Thank you very much.
Marie's a champion, you know.
And Jordan's a champion as well. Don't let Jordan play it down.
You know, maybe, you know, I guess. What?
No, Jordan's a champion. Jordan's that person. Jordan, you didn't tell me you know such and such. Yeah. Didn't I tell you? Or, I do. Jordan knows everyone.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm a people's person, and I want to see people succeed. Like, that's my thing. I really want to see people succeed, and I always like to leave a positive, long-lasting impression on people that I meet and come into contact with. You know, and that's my intention, to be honest with you. And if I know how I may be able to help someone, even if I've got, you know, the world on my shoulders, I might still be able to make a phone call or a text.
But you know, sometimes in life, when you're in your deepest challenging times, that is when you're more effective. Do you know that, Jordan? Where you can be a blessing to somebody else, because that's showing that where you're allowing God to lead in whatever is going on, He's still using you, and you're available to be a blessing to somebody else.
Yeah. Facts.
So no matter what you're going through, it may feel heavy, but once you've blessed someone, you realize you just feel empowered, released, relaxed.
Yeah, facts. You know what? I always feel like, okay, there's been times that I've done things for people when I don't really have the capacity to do it, kind of thing, but I've still done it out of a good heart. And it feels like it's such a nice feeling, you know what I mean? Like, to know that it was even a struggle for you to pull off the help that you helped them, but the fact that you done it out of a good heart,
a genuine heart,
like it is a blessing. And you can't be surprised when certain blessings come your way suddenly, you know, unexpectedly, because you know you've been sowing. But the thing is, I don't, you know, sow to receive, you know. I don't.
But the thing is, I think sometimes what people fail to understand, like for example, Jordan, just because I may help you, it could be with anything. It doesn't mean that it's you that's going to bless me back. It can come at a different stage through somebody else. So that's why in life, when you have been blessed by someone, because remember in life we connect with each other for a reason, not because you like someone. There's a reason we cross each other's path. So when you become a blessing, you never know when your blessing could be coming, when what God has for you.
That's right. So what are you saying, Marie? That's why we should be ready in season and out of season.
Definitely. Yeah.
Definitely. That's good, man, Marie. Now that made my evening. I'm so proud of you, man. That's good. Onwards and upwards, bigger and better.
Definitely.
And by the grace of God, next week, or you know, when we're back on, I'll have something good, you know, good to share too.
Definitely.
You know, just to kind of encourage the people, you know, to say, look, I was working on this, now this is done. Like for example, you know, and the more things we can share, you know, with the people, hopefully the people can then start messaging us on the TikTok or the text and say, oh, you know what, I've just launched my website. Oh, do you know what, I've just launched my business. Oh, do you know what, like, I don't know, like I've done a course, like I've signed up to a course, like, do you know what I mean? Even signing up,
everybody's success is different.
That's right.
Like for example, your goal could be, I'm just going to make sure that every morning I wake up at a set time to complete a set task.
Come on.
Just by achieving that, you are winning.
That's right.
It doesn't matter how big you may think it is. It's the fact that you're making that progress.
Yeah. Do you know what? On that note, Marie, I heard something the other day. It was about sleep, and how it affects our well-being. And it was saying that we should be more concerned about setting a bedtime than an alarm to wake up. Because if, for example, you are like, oh, I've got to be up at 5:45, for example, you will set that alarm because you know whatever happens, you have to be up at that time. But you might not be so hard on yourself to make sure that you are preparing to go to bed in decent time to be up at 5:45. Do you know what I mean? So one day it might be 12, one day you might go sleep at 1, for example. But it's like there's not that consistency of it. Someone might argue and be like, yeah, well, if you don't set an alarm to wake up, like you might wake up really early or what have you. But from when you know you've gone to bed at the right time to give yourself the advantage, you know, to have enough sleep, chances are you're gonna have enough sleep because your body will wake you up when you've had enough sleep, when you've had enough rest. But they were talking about the blue light, like on your phone, and that talking about how much that disturbs your sleep before you go to sleep. I know some people out there know this already, but I'm just saying there may be some people who are listening and like, oh, I can't sleep and stuff like that. But if your phone is in front of your eyeballs, like for example, like 10 minutes before you're supposed to be going to sleep, chances are that blue light is going to keep you up a lot longer. Do you know what I mean? So there are certain, you know, things that we could do to help us. But for me, I'm just going to put that out to our wonderful listeners and to Marie and to Anton, that my new achievement is to have a bedtime.
Well, Jordan,
that's my new thing I want to achieve.
You know, I have
among others.
Like my sister will say to me, if I'm up by over a certain time, she's like, you're not allowed to be up. What do you do now? Because I normally go to bed from early.
Facts.
Like sometimes by 9, I'm gone. And I don't need an alarm clock. I wake up sometimes 5. By myself. I don't need no alarm.
Early riser. Early riser.
So I'm always up early. But no, it's important. And as you set yourself a bedtime. As when you go to sleep, it's about releasing whatever could be on your mind mentally.
That's right.
So just like, all right, today, just thankful that I've made it through the evening home with my family, I've just made it home.
That's right.
Can't change what's happened today, but tomorrow is a brand new day. We're gonna go forward. Yeah.
You can plan your day better when you go to bed.
Yeah.
In good time. Like, say like you have a shower, you have a bath, you know what I mean? And then just put your phone in another room, for example, or by your bedroom door or wherever, and just, you know what I mean, lock off the light and just close your eyes. It would really help, you know what I mean? I know everyone's situation is different. You know, some people have children, young children that may, you know, affect their sleep. Sometimes your partner snoring might wake you up. You know, it could be whatever. But even if we try to just do that, then at least our body is starting to go into that mode of rest. Do you know what I mean? You'll start thinking positively, like we was just saying, Marie, about being thankful for the day and then planning for tomorrow, kind of thing.
Well, that's another thing. Like when I get up early, I like to give thanks for the day that I'm alive, I'm awake, you know, my children, and I pray. So I'm praying for the day and saying, you know, God, lead me through this day. Yeah. And I've noticed that every time I do that, my day seems to go smooth. Times where I wake up and I don't always get to because of various things. Yeah. It doesn't always go so smoothly. Yeah. Facts. But such is life. So we need to be getting some good sleep in the night time. Sometimes you gotta just turn off the TV, turn off the music, and just rest your mind, your eyes, and your body. Yeah, man. Give it a rest. So last week I mentioned a song that I would have loved to play. So this week we have now finally got the song. That's right. The song is by Mr. Christopher Ellis. I met him a few weeks ago. Such a lovely, lovely gentleman. And I said to him that I came across this song via the YouTube. And I said, I don't understand how come it's not on the radio being played. You know, I believe this song is such a beautiful song. So today on Evening Talks, I am blessing you guys with this lovely song by Mr. Christopher Ellis called Flame Against the Wind.
Big him up, big him up, big him up, big him up. Yes. The mic's on. Are you ready?
Hey Jordan, are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't know if they're ready though.
Well, let's see.
Yes. Burn so lovely, burning so lovely. Her shift is 9 to 5, mine is 5 to 9. These hours are demanding. It's always a hello and goodbye. She's busy, so am I. It's hard to understand it. How can the two of us still be in love and manage to maintain when sometimes it flicker and dim through thicker and thin? Our love will never go out like a flame against the wind, burning in doubt, yes, like a flame against the wind, fighting the darkness like a flame against the wind. Against all the odds, yes. Sometimes it flicker and dim through thicker and thin. Our love will never go out. You show compassion, forgiveness if I do you wrong. Advice from your friends, they say move on. For the love and care through all the years, I should light up the finger, baby. Whenever I'm angry with you, we won't talk for a day or two. Sometimes it flicker and dim through thicker and thin. Our love will never go out like a flame against the wind, yes. Burning in doubt, yes, like a flame against the wind. We'll be fighting the darkness you'll be staying here. In my heart, in my heart, in my heart. I don't have the answers, neither you, but we can't love much more than we do. Still sometimes it flicker and dim, through thicker and thin. Our love will never go out like a flame against the wind. We'll be burning and die, like a flame against the wind. Oh no, fighting the dark. Flame against the wind, I said. Against all odds, I said. And sometimes it flicker and dim, through thicker and thin. Still, our love will never go out. Keep it burning, yes. We're burning up, it's burning lazy, fighting the dark. Flames from my side, against all the odds. The fuel is from you.
What a beautiful song by Mr. Christopher Ellis, Flame
Yep.
Against the Wind. I remember when I spoke to him last week, I said, last year I was playing this song. I just came across it via the YouTube. And I was like, how come I haven't heard this song? What a beautiful tune. Maybe one day, Jordan, we can invite him on and he can do, an a cappella for us.
Yeah. That would be great, man. That would be great. He's
Definitely.
a lovely person, man.
Definitely. Very approachable, lovely person.
Yeah. And you know people in common as well.
Yeah.
It's a serious thing, but I know. I said I know one of his brothers. I know one of his brothers personally. But yeah, man, good peoples, man.
Because I remember when I spoke to him, he said, say it to, I think it was his brother, you could tell they looked alike. And I was saying to him, I don't understand. How come this song hasn't been out there like that? But you know what? It will. Nothing before its time.
Nothing before its time,
Nothing
man.
before its time. What a beautiful song.
It's catalogue. Like, the man's got catalogue, man. He's got catalogue. When you're like a creative, you do a lot of things. And to some artists, it's it might not be as big to you, for example, because he might be thinking, I was just testing my pen that day. Like, you know what I mean? Wow. But it's a big tune. You know what I mean?
That wasn't a good pen enough.
Yeah, what? Yeah,
good
sometimes, I'm telling you, sometimes them tests there come out like, you know what I mean, number ones. You know what I mean? Number one hits, man. So
definitely.
Yeah, man, big up Christopher Ellis.
Definitely.
Legend.
And even this song playing was one of my, I used to love this one, you know?
Yeah.
However, let's not divert. So today, beautiful people, our topic today is mental health or mental abuse.
Wow. Can we kind of explain that in a bit more detail, Marie?
In today's society, we've been hearing about mental health, mental awareness. I know it's a bit late right now, but a few weeks ago, from Monday the 15th of May to Sunday the 21st of May 2023 was Mental Health Awareness. However, as you know, we're talking about the mind as well as the body. I thought, let's touch on this a bit.
Yeah.
And I just started to think, I'm not saying that there isn't people who are going through mental health issues. I'm not saying that. But I'm starting to wonder, because of the society that we're living in now, are we using this as an excuse to justify some of our behaviors? The way we treat people, the way how we're going about life, just how we're surviving, living. Or are we using factors that should be classed as mental health as a way to mentally abuse one another, situations to not be held accountable, not to be able to take ownership, and to try to manipulate people to get our own way? So today we're gonna look into what mental health is, what it has been defined as, or is it something that, as I said, I'm not a professional, we're just bringing a conversation all for everyone to participate in, but is it something that with the right discipline, support as an individual that we could overcome. Instead of saying, I've got this, I've got this mental health. And even though we hear about mental health issues, I don't hear people talk about, I've got mental wealth issue. Me personally, I have mental wealth issue. Come on. So, let's balance it out.
Yes, Marie. I told her from week 1, I said you all need a Marie in your life. Yeah.
But it's just like in life, you've got the positive as well as the negative.
Come on.
So if you've got the mental health issue, then it must be something that's the opposite to that.
Yeah.
That can help you to overcome, go forward. As I said, everyone's situation is different, so I'm not here to talk down to anybody, no, but it's just sometimes, are we claiming titles upon ourselves that is not our portion? Now in life, we all do go through things. Myself and Jordan, yet we're here every Thursday. Sometimes if you know what we go through as individuals leading up to us coming on the show, you're like, are you sure? Because you guys, we don't display it.
No.
Because we found a way as individuals, even though we may speak to each other, sometimes we may not, to balance it out. So let's look into what mental health is about. Let's divulge into that a bit. But before, we're going to give out the studio number so you have it handy. So as we divulge into our topic today, then you're free to call in, share with us.
Yes.
And as I said, we don't know everything. We're not healthcare professionals, but we're exploring a topic that I think should be looked at from different aspects.
Come on.
Yeah?
Let's
so
go.
Jordan, would you like to give our beautiful listeners the studio number?
Okay, so 073 79 529 412. I repeat, that's 073 79 529 412. And we have another number too, if you want to get that one down, have that handy. It's 079 04 598 848. And the second number is 079 04 598 848. That will bring you live and direct at Just Cool Radio.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So don't be nervous.
Yes.
You can text in. We got different social media platforms that you can interact with us.
Yeah.
However, if you're not confident to call in, you may also can text our studio number as well.
That's right.
So participate with us because we're here to learn from each other and empower each other.
That's right.
So going back to my notes today, I got my paper. So today, as I said, so mental health. So the definition that I have found today via social, no, it wasn't social media, via Google.
Yeah.
It was mental health is a mental state well-being that enables people to cope with stress of life, realizing their ability to learn, work, and to contribute to their community. So it's about the well-being of your mind. So just like how with your body, your temple, that's your well-being because you're going to look after it. You're going to make sure that you shower, you use the right stuff because you're maintaining the well-being of your skin as well as what you're eating as well. So that will also look back at, so what are we feeding in the mind, which you actually spoke about briefly last week as well. Cool. So it outlines the emotional, psychological. Thank you.
Oh, glory.
Dilettantistic today.
Oh, glory.
And social well-being that influence our perspective, thinking, and behavior. So the mental well-being will have an impact on how we view different things in our lives, how we think, the rationale, the reasoning, which also would influence and have an impact on the behavior that we display. Okay. How does that sound to you, Jordan?
Sounds interesting. It definitely sounds interesting. I think just from the first part of the definition that you read, there's a lot to unpack, and I was actually going to ask if you could read it again, because I wanted that first bit to sink in again, so I can just.
So let me just finish reading
explore.
the last bit, and then I'll go over it again.
Alright,
cool.
Let's go.
So it also has an impact on how we as individuals deal with day-to-day life. For example, stress. Interpersonal relationship, so that's how we interact with each other, whether it is via work, just generally interact with each other in relationships, and also in decision making. That's where you have to reason it out, because that's when you're reasoning, that's when you're like, okay, do I go left or right, because you reason it out.
That's right.
So I will read it one more time.
Yes, please.
Mental health is a mental state of well-being that enables people to cope with stress of life, realize their abilities, learn, work, and contribute to their community. It outlines the emotional, psychologically, and social well-being that influence our perspective, thinking, and behavior. It also has an impact on how we as individuals deal with day-to-day life, for example, stress, interpersonal relationships, and decision making.
Yeah, it's deep. I first of all, before touching on the definitions that you just read, Marie, I want to touch on the title of the show again. Yeah, mental health, or is it mental abuse? And we want to just first and foremost state that we are not trying to downplay the severity of what goes on with people who are experiencing cases of mental health, or severe ones. We're not trying to downplay it at all, but we are acknowledging that there is a notion, there is what's the word, there are individuals who genuinely are, and then there's people who start to, like Marie was saying earlier, use the title of mental health to manipulate situations. And we just kind of want to highlight the differences with that. So when Marie was reading the definitions, the decision making is what popped up, to my mind a lot. For example, you get some people who are like panicking a lot, for example, and they're like, oh, I don't know what to do, don't know if I should turn left or right, oh, I've got anxiety. You find that there's a lot of people who may be quite unaware of how powerful the tongue is by claiming some of these traits, by saying my, like, oh, my anxiety is so bad, and my PTSD, and my da-da-da-da-da. And you have to think, who is diagnosing these things? If someone goes, Jordan, you've got blah, 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 I have to decide if I'm gonna accept that. Oh, yeah. Glory. Yeah, I have to decide. Oh, glory. Yeah, because it could be a very, very serious thing. All right, I'll give you an example. Yeah, I've had a loss in the family. Yeah, big loss. We're talking immediate. I've had an immediate family member loss in the family. Yeah, within the last 2 weeks. And some people have said to me, Jordan, it's all right to be broken. It's all right to be down. It's all right to be a human. It's all right to grieve, It's right to, like, all of these things, yeah? And I understand where they're coming from. But what it is because they've seen a level of genuine strength, they've questioned it, because they're like, Jordan looks too strong at a time like this, when us who are further removed from the situation are broken down and struggling, yeah? Now, if they said, Jordan, you're a person, and your emotions are likely to go up and down. And don't feel that you have to hold your tears back if you want to cry, because it will be good if you let them out. That's different. People have been coming around to me, not 1, 2, 3, I'm talking high numbers. It's alright to be down, broken, like, you know, if you get a bit depressed about this, I understand. And I'm like, I don't have the time to be broken, down, depressed, and a human about this situation. Because what people who are saying such things may not understand, a down, broken, depressed, struggling Just Jordan is a very hard kind of character to resurrect. And if I started taking on their words and internalizing their words, before I know it, I could be broken down, depressed, in a bad way, and I've had to, because it's such a major loss, because I said it's an immediate family member, my immediate family, I've had to be very mindful of how long I allow an emotion to kind of capture me. Because if I feel an emotion like I miss my family member, that's fine, because that's only right, I could, because I'm human, I'm gonna have that, but then when I can feel like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do now, oh, my life's over too,
that's where we're getting
into a danger zone there. So I have to, like when you sit on a horse, and the horse has the reins there, If the horse is going a certain direction, you don't want the horse to go that way. You have to draw it in. You have to draw it in. And stop it from going where it's going. Because if you let that horse start galloping in a direction that you don't want to go in, for all you know, you might be in a field, and then that horse just starts doing, high jumps after some hedges, and then next minute that horse is trying to cross the M25 if you're on its back. Oh glory. That would be a very, very long day in the office, but I don't want to go on no horseback across the M25, no, that's not the direction that we're trotting, do you know what I mean, or traveling. So yes, I'm speaking in figure of speech, but what I'm saying is we do have to take some control sometimes of when our emotions are pulling us in certain directions. Now, what I've seen, remember people using the word broken, like if you look at when we're talking about romance, and then a relationship has gone a bad way, for example, not the way one intended, for example. Yes, you have your emotions and it doesn't feel nice when it's not materialized to where you want it to materialize, but you must guard your heart. It gets to a point. The Bible
does tell us about that.
Yes.
However, sometimes in the courting process and getting to know the process, it's like sometimes you just, oh no, but we get on really well, and sometimes your guard can slip, and then when it goes left, you can feel like, oh my gosh, like I didn't see that coming. So what do you do with that emotion? Do you like decide you're not gonna come out?
This is where I was going, because then that's when you hear people say, I'm heartbroken, I'm distraught, like you hear the words, this is a catastrophe, like and I get it, I get the fact that you're in heightened disappointment, and I get that you could have been violated, and you're feeling really hurt by the matter, but you have to still remember that you have a responsibility to maintain your well-being and maintain good balance. If you're riding a bicycle, for example, and you start falling to the left or falling to the right too much, automatically as a reflex your foot should hit the ground first to be like, whoa, so you don't fall over, or you're falling this side, whoa, you put your foot down to keep you in balance, but a lot of people don't look at it like that psychologically and think, if I don't put my foot down, in the situation, I am going to have a collision with the pavement. Yeah. So it's not to say I'm hard as nails. It's not to say
that's not what we're saying.
Is not what
it's
I'm
feeling
saying.
the emotion,
Yep.
but not allowing the emotion to overpower you.
Precisely.
To where it begins to affect your perspective, your thinking,
Precisely.
now your behavior.
Precisely. Because that kind of stuff. Remember, people saying broken. Listen, when I've been in low broken places, yeah. But there's a way, like, all right, I feel like some of the most serious things I've ever been through, like now, like losing an immediate family member, I'm strong in this situation, yeah? I've had a mild heart attack, yeah? It took me like 6 months to kind of like, at least get better. Like, don't get me wrong, like I was better, like within 6 months, but I couldn't perform a poem, for example, because I would be too out of breath, for example, for 6 months. Yeah. Meanwhile, I could just do poems like boom, 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 performances here, there. I couldn't do that for 6 months straight. Yeah. Then, by the time a year went past, I still wasn't like on my A game. Yeah. A year after. Then another 6 months. 6 months passed 3 times. We're talking 18 months. Yeah. Before I started to feel like, okay, yeah, I feel a little bit more like me. Yeah. But psychologically, I was like, the fact that I don't know how long this heart problem is going to be a heart problem, I have to see it as a phase. Because if I don't see it as a phase, I'm going down. Yeah. And I know that when people get sick, usually they go down. Yeah. They go down because you start accepting it. Yeah. You start going down. So how you receive information is very important. And I'm not saying that it didn't affect me, that I had these heart problems. Of course it affected me, but I had to decide how much it were going to affect me, because before I know it, I'd have become a recluse. Yeah, and I'm not coming outside. I don't want to do anything. I'll start quitting all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? At least I just had the perspective to say, oh, you know what? That's on pause, Got to just work on my health. Got to work on my well-being. But as I said, losing an immediate, difficult. Heart problems, difficult. But I tell you that compared to those tragic situations, yeah, there's been things that are minuscule, yeah, that have made me not leave my house, not leave my bedroom, yeah. All I've done sometimes is go have a shower, go have a little breakfast, if that, and then going back to lay down.
Whatever is affecting you mentally is going to affect your appetite as
well. Come on. Yeah. So that's all a next thing. Then I'm not eating. Then I don't want to do anything because I don't have the energy to do anything because I'm not eating. Yeah. And I'm saying some of the stuff that triggered that type of level of recluse and avoiding people were nothing like the mild heart attack and nothing like losing an immediate family member. But what it was is, when those things happened, I knew that the strength in my mind wasn't as strong at that time. Yeah. And because I thought, well, in the grand scheme of things, this isn't such a big deal. I should be able to leap over this hurdle. But what I didn't do was reach out to the right people to help me and strengthen me at that moment in time.
To reach out to the right people,
come on,
to help you, and that could be with trusted friends,
that's right,
trusted family members, or sometimes people may have other motu professionals who could be in their life that could be helping. They call it like a helping relationship.
That's right.
So that could be helping them to overcome what they are going through.
That's right.
And as you were just saying, John, I just wanted to have a look at, before we go on to the mental abuse part, it was a few, like they say, signs of mental health. For example, these are just examples because every situation is different. So I'm
every
just giving
case is unique.
Yeah. So it says prolonging anxiety and feelings of worry, feeling sad, depressed, unhappy, having a low mood for a long period of time, having trouble coping with stress, extreme mood changes, emotional outbursts, extreme feelings of guilt and feeling worthless, difficult to concentrate and learn new things, find it difficult to understand and relate to other people. Some may find it hard to sleep, etc., etc. It's all different for every individual. However, some of the things that I've looked at, not necessarily what I've read here, I'm just thinking, is this something as an individual that we can say, as Jordan was saying, like, yeah, you're feeling low, but do you allow it to overpower you?
Come on.
Do you have that strength within you? Because as myself, I've gone through things and I was like, I didn't even want to see no one. I didn't want to go nowhere. I just wanted to stay by myself.
That's right.
But at the same time, I still got up every day and I went to work. My mind wasn't at peace, but I still had to keep moving. I said, do you know what? No, I'm not doing this.
No.
I got annoyed because the fact is, I don't like headaches. And I was getting headaches. I said, no, I'm not having that.
Yep.
But every situation is different. So we're not trying to downplay anybody. We're not saying that, but I'm just thinking sometimes some of the things that we're claiming upon ourselves as mental health, do you think it could be something that if you had the right network or support around you, that you could be able to overcome instead of calling these names upon yourself? I wanted to have a look at mental abuse. It's also known as a where's my tongue?
Oh, glory.
Go on. Can you say for me, please, Jordan? Psychological. Thank you. Or emotional abuse.
Yeah.
This can involve deliberately hurting someone, causing emotional pain, trying to control or manipulate someone or a situation through verbal or non-verbal communication.
Yeah.
For example, individuals may become isolated, verbally assaulted, humiliated, intimidated. Infatuation of others is any other form of mistreatment that may diminish the sense of identity and self-worth of a person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna give an example. Last year I was having, I don't argue, I just say I like to address the minor stunts behavior, as I would like to say. So I was saying to an individual, you're behaving, that's not normal what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I said, but you're in the wrong and you need to be held accountable. And the person said to me, oh, the way how you're going on, me feel like me just could go and walk in the road and make a bus run me over. I knew then that was an emotional abuse that I was trying to. So I said, go on then. Not because I am encouraging someone
to do that.
Because I knew that they wasn't going to do that, but because they no longer want to take accountability for their behavior of what I was addressing them about, they felt they could use a way of emotional abuse to try and get me to back down. And I didn't. And when I said, go on then, they went quiet. I said, you wasn't going to do nothing anyway. You just don't want to be held accountable for your behavior. And for me, it was quite alarming because this individual is very high, tough, mature in age, highlighted age. So it's like, how are you in this big, tough age behaving like that? What's going on with you?
Nothing but a number.
And where we're talking about mental abuse is that sometimes in life, individuals who could be saying, oh, but my head's not all there, or various things, because they don't want to be held accountable for how they're treating other people, or they don't want to take responsibility on how they can take back the reins back in their lives to go forward, they try to find a way to get you to be manipulative by saying, oh, but you know I can't do that because of XYZ. You know, oh, I can't do this because I've got the kids around me. But then you see Miss Jane round the corner with a 10 pitney, still going to work and doing after school pick up and XYZ. So it's some way of trying to control somebody. What has happened in an individual person's life that mentally you've allowed so many negative thoughts to come in where you feel the need to control someone through trying to make them feel bad. You see, in life, as an adult, you all learn this. You can go be in a situation. People are not going to tell you yes all the time. They're going to tell you no. This is life. So if someone tells you no, why do you feel the need to use some kind of like sub story to control the narrative?
Come on.
They said no. Accept it, especially when you're highlighted in your tough age. Behave yourself. Just saying.
Yeah. Just saying. No,
so let's read some of our comments.
Some serious topics, and the people them's engaging tonight. You know what I mean? Yeah. Look, like we got people laughing. You know what I mean? On the TikTok. Big up, Sister Safia. Yeah.
Hi, Safia. So I'm gonna get Jordan to read the comments by the screen because unfortunately I'm not wearing my reading glasses.
Marie fooled me today, I thought that those were your reading glasses.
No, I couldn't find them, so I just picked up a pair of glasses.
Yeah, so these ones are not prescription, so that's fine. I don't mind.
Say yes to these ones.
I don't mind doing the reading. That's cool. We've got upscale vitality. That would have been probably sent a few. Oh, he sent the jingle in as well. Oh, let's hear what he said.
Sure. I mean, even talk live. I'm gonna log on and check it out. They don't know. Them two people that give me joke. I tell you. And them check it out. They don't know. And two people that give me joke. I tell you.
That is funny. That is
positive.
Thank you.
Big him up.
Yeah, man. Upscale vitality.
That's right.
Out and loud.
That's right.
Reaching the ears.
That's
of
right.
Each and every individual. No matter what thick the crowd.
Yeah.
I just School Radio, the silver lining behind the dark cloud.
Come on. Thank
you.
Love that. Big him up. Yeah, that one they made me laugh still. We've got words are spells.
Definitely.
So that was from, it looks like Camilla. It looked like Camilla, Miss Universe 1. It's on the TikTok. Said condolences. Thank you for the condolences. Blessings. Oh, the laugh was for the mental wealth issue.
We're gonna get onto that.
We're gonna get onto it. Marie's gonna unpack that mental wealth one. You know what I mean? And we got. This is a very serious topic. I get what he's saying. Still, deep conversation, serious talk. Thank you both. But maybe you were not aware. I think we'd have to scroll to see the other one. That's on DJ Too Bad's page. It says, this is from Red Riding Hood, said, but maybe you were not aware you needed the level of support at that time. It's true. I wasn't aware because I thought, I'll get through this, and it just took a long time. You know what I mean? And I was confused because I've been through worse than this. Why is this thing getting me down in this kind of way?
But then sometimes, depending on, every situation is different. If you've got people around you, sometimes they can see that they can see it's not right, isn't it?
Yeah.
So even sometimes if you can't identify, then whoever's around you can think, this is not right. We need to try and help within reason, to give you that support. Yeah.
You know what? I think in my case, I think what I'll be open and honest. You see, because I can articulate myself and I've got a certain conduct and stuff like that. I've also got a lot of ready-made answers as well. You know what I mean? So someone might be like, oh, how are you? I have got a ready-made answer for that. It's only people that, know me. They will know whether you know, there's more going on or not. Do you know what I mean? Marie's very good at detecting those kind of things, so you can't really fake it with Marie, you know. So if it's make believe, she'll call it out. You know what I mean?
However, I'm the opposite. It depends. If you're very close to me, then you might know. Or most of the time, I'll go into defense, but I don't care because I switch off. I just switch off.
Yeah.
And I'm just doing what I have to do. I switch off. I don't have time. I've got too much things to do in my day, so I don't have time to be regurgitating things that may not make sense to me. That's going to make me feel deflated. I know I've got so many, because I'm a mother, that depend on me. I'm not saying the way how I deal with it is right, but that's how I cope. I just switch off. I've been in a room where people have been speaking, nothing bad or anything, and I've just switched off. I'll be here, but I just switch off. That's my way of coping.
We got another one from Red Riding Hood. Said sometimes when you're in its grip, it's difficult to know you need help. That is big. It's true, because there's been certain things that have actually gripped me, and I'm like, this ain't right. Like, I know it's not right, but I can't see how not right it is. It takes God to reveal it to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, to be like, yo, or I might have to even see myself in a certain light. So imagine, like, if you're used to operating on a scale of, let's say, for example, 7 out of 10, you're used to operating on that. Like, that's normal for you. You know, on the odd occasion, you might be, you know, moving like an 8 or a 9, even a 10. But you're used to 7. When you're moving like level 3, level 2, you know, you're like, hey, this is not like me. Do you know what I mean? And then that's when you start to detect that something is gripping you, because you're not moving like a level 7.
Because everything's like, it comes like everything's dragging.
It's
like you can go to sleep. This is how you know something's unsettling with your mind, the well-being of your mind. You can go to sleep, have your 8, how long you want to sleep, and wake up, and it feels like you just went to sleep. Like you haven't slept at all. Your eyes feel really like puffy, like I just went to sleep and it's already the morning time. Because your mind didn't rest. Because as you went to lay down physically, your mind was still going over and over and over everything.
Do you know what you just said was powerful there, Marie? You know, when you hear, you know, the elders or, you know, the doctors say stuff like you shouldn't eat late, you shouldn't eat after a certain time, people go, oh, don't eat late because you're gonna put on weight. That's the kind of stuff that you'll hear, for example. But what they mean is, if you eat a heavy load and then go straight to bed, you're not giving your body and your organs a chance to process the food that you've put in your body, kind of thing. And digestion isn't like a microwave. Like, you've put food in your system, for example, chew, then bing, it's all processed and the food's gone where it belongs. It doesn't happen that quick. And especially if we're eating things we're not supposed to eat, it doesn't digest that quick. Now, hear what I'm saying. Things that we're not supposed to eat. I'm coming back to that bit. Psychologically, oh glory, if we are eating late, taking heed to things late, when we should be resting.
So hold on, so are we talking about, so we're eating late and then listening to something as well?
No. I'm talking about not food now, like physical food.
Okay.
Now I'm talking about, like, if we're talking about food for thought, it could be good food or bad food. If you're eating something, food for thought wise,
Okay, mentally now.
Yes.
Cool.
On the psychological.
Yes.
If you're eating something, digesting something, that's the word I'm more looking for. If you're digesting something late that is not good for you, oh glory, guess what? It's going to take a long time for your body to start digesting that. And I say your body because your organs digest information. Someone will be like, oh, how can your organs digest information? Information is invisible. Well, if you see something traumatizing for real happen before you, do you know that it will affect your body straight away? People see things happen before them and have a heart attack. Yeah?
It sends a shockwave through.
People have seen things that is so shocking, they've had brain hemorrhages. Yeah? Because the information that they've just received before their very eyeballs, yeah, the eyes are the window to your soul. The things that your soul has just digested, yeah, can be so traumatizing and so effective that it affects your body. Now, let's say, for example, you're pondering on a situation where someone's violated you and you can't sleep, yeah. There's a rapper from South London, won't say who it is. People might know who it is when I say this bar. But it's an old school tune, yeah? Probably like, let me say old school, sorry, not old school, but let's say probably like 2008 or something, yeah? And he says, I can't sleep and I can't eat. When someone violates me, fam, I can't sleep. I just gave it away. Yeah, to say who it was. Yeah, if you know who goes, then you know who it is. And he said he can't sleep and he can't eat when someone violates him, fam. He can't sleep. Yeah. So if you're digesting what someone's done late at night and you've got no peace about it, you're not going to sleep well. Yeah,
or you won't even sleep at all because your mind is on sleep. Your mind is running with Usain Bolt.
It's Usain Bolt, like lightning bolts basically. Like through your brain, like what they didn't what no what am I like the brain is doing too much. Let's say, for example, you tell yourself you're not gonna rest until you find the person. You might not find them for a little while.
So that means you've had no.
That means you've had no sleep.
You have no rest, no sleep.
You're damaging
yourself.
Yeah, you're damaging yourself. Yeah. Another song from South London's coming to my brain. There, another tune, and they're talking about retaliation. Yeah, the tune is basically about retaliation. It's not called retaliation, but it's about retaliation. Yeah, and one of the rappers in the song, said, "You know that it's deep when you're riding." And wait there. Let me catch it. I don't want to say it wrong. He said something like, I don't want to get the words wrong, but he said something along the lines of. He said something along the lines of like, when you're riding and it's like over a week's gone, yeah, and you still can't find him, and you're riding, meaning you're circling around and you're looking for who you need to pay back,
deliberately looking for,
and you can't find them. You're still getting upset because you're thinking this violation is orbiting your brain. Yeah, I'm not saying that violation should be let go, you know, but I'm just saying, when it's starting to affect your health, that's when you gotta start evaluating how worth things are, because you thinking about the violation so much, and so much time has gone past, it turns from upset to anger to rage to hate to murder to
because it's a process. It's a process.
It multiplies, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it multiplies.
It does.
Yeah. So this is the kind of stuff that happens, like when it's like a washing machine. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like, you know what I mean, a washing machine spinning around. It's like that. You can go to sleep, have your head on your pillow, and you can't rest because you've digested information that is making you like unable to sleep.
And then the more like someone says, oh, I saw such and such, blah 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 blah, that takes you back to 0 to hero. You're gone again. You're gone.
Yeah, it's very, very, very serious. So we have to think about what we're digesting. If you've Alright, if something serious has happened, yeah, and it's shocking news, you have to take good care of your mind. Me personally, yeah, when something crazy that I can't explain is going on, yeah, for my own well-being sake, for my own heart's sake, remember I said I had a mild heart attack, yeah, I have to put on like a gospel or something. Yeah, I got to put on, and not even gospel. I've got to put on like worship gospel. You know what I mean? Where it's music that is worshiping God. Then it starts to make my mind go, yeah, do you know what? Better my mind start worshiping God. Even though I may not be, humming or singing along to the song, it's just better that a song that is talking about worshiping God is playing, so it puts my mind in a better position. Because if I start listening to I can't sleep and I can't eat, when someone violates me, then I can't sleep, then I won't sleep. Then if I listen to and you know that it's deep when you're riding, and I don't mean over a beat or something like that. Yeah, you know that it's deep when you're riding, and something like, and I mean over a week, something like that. I can't remember the bar, but something like that. And I mean over a week, and you still can't find him, and you're riding. Yeah, so I can't listen to them kind of things because I know what it's gonna do to our mental health. And what if I just see him on the random?
That's it. It's over for him or she.
Yeah,
let's start running.
Long day in the office. But what I'm saying is, it affects you in ways. Some people have been holding up unforgiveness in their heart and in their body for years.
And I believe sometimes
it affects their body in big ways.
Yeah, sometimes I think some levels of heart attack, is because you're holding things in your heart which mentally you've processed, and you're just like, I'm not letting that go. And then you can see or hear of a particular situation or a person, and you can feel your heart's just going, it's just going up. That in itself is having an impact on your body.
100%. You know what?
And for me, I always say in life, I always try to make peace. Even if I've offended somebody, I try to make peace. I'm not perfect. I try to make peace. Because for me, I always say, you see a guilty conscience? No. I'm not willing to live with that, because you won't sleep. No matter how much you try to sleep, you can't sleep.
It's nuts. It's like something happened to one of my loved ones, yeah, once upon a time. And I was driving, following the sat-nav, and the sat-nav happened to bring me on the same road as where, something happened to one of my loved ones, for example, yeah? And when I got on the road, everything came back to my mind. Do you know what I mean? And I'm reliving the moment, and it's like, no. And it's all, it's not a nice kind of feeling. And then you start thinking to yourself, like, you need to kind of take control over what's going on in your mind. Because I know that how I was feeling about that situation that happened to that particular loved one on that road, and how and why it happened, I was on the verge of losing it, Yeah, I was and I said, if I don't start making some deliberate changes, yeah, I'm going to end up somewhere where I don't want to be. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, what I could feel is that because for a long time the issue was unresolved, yeah, I was living in that mode of unresolved issue, living in it. So how I was living was like a landmine. I'm very calm, but if you step on the landmine, it's going to explode. I wasn't living in like mousetrap mode. Yeah. And the mousetrap can be bad for a mouse. Yeah. But landmine, it means like someone could step on this landmine and everybody around is gonna get in trouble affected. Too. Yeah. Because if a bomb went off right here, God forbid, we'd all be in trouble.
Yeah.
It wouldn't just hit me. Do you know what I mean? So I was living in this landmine kind of mindset, and it's like, yo, you see, I'm gonna try and keep myself to myself, stay away from, certain people and situations and places and stuff like that, because how I feel right now, the next person,
it's over. It's curtain.
XYZ, that's even say something, do something, or whatever. And it could be totally unrelated to the situation, They're getting it. And the thing is, me personally, Marie will tell you, I don't road rage, I don't road rage. Listen, someone can cut in front of me, do all this kind of stuff and whatever. I don't even react. I think in all the years that I've been driving, I might say like, oh, what are they doing? But I'm not like getting upset.
It's not aggressive.
No, it's not aggressive. Like,
no, it's just like,
they can do something serious, like nearly crashing to me, and I'm like, what are they doing? What are they playing at? Anyway, Marie. So and like, I don't take no like consideration of what just happened, because I'm like, well, they didn't crash into me, did they? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm still going to where I'm going. When I was living in that landmine mindset, it was like, if someone does something funky,
it's over.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, but Jordan, you don't road rage. Like, about to have my own, but you don't road rage. So I understand you're upset about this situation that happened on that particular day at that particular time and how it happened. But you can't be living on landmine. Yeah? Because you living on landmine is going to mean that a small violation, like,
can it just because
it might just be that day that one small violation worth 5% gives me a 95% reaction of explosion. Do you know what I mean? And they were like, you don't have to kill him like that. You don't have to do him like that. Or whatever, but it's not them.
But it's like a build-up, isn't it? Yeah, so you've just all in that one person or one place.
Before I know it now, I'm just, you know what I mean? And it's like when I was telling you about, my family members' party, there was that person who was drunk, and I knew that the person was going through things. So I didn't want that person to, how'd I say it? Like, I didn't want people to treat that person for how they were behaving at that moment in time, because their drunk behavior was worth people sanctioning them, put it that way. Yeah. But I was in my head, I heard this person's going through something, so I understand that they've had too much to drink because they're trying to soothe their sorrows. And I said, an instruction was given to the person to like kind of leave. They weren't leaving. Then the birthday person said, can you please whatever. They didn't listen to the birthday person, and I just picked the person up and just took them out one time. And it's funny because I just took them out, I carried them out, and
game over.
And the thing is, I saw it as a protection. I'm protecting you because you behaving like this, people want to sanction you for your behavior. People are about to sanction you for your behavior. So me picking you up and carrying you out the premises
is the best bet, actually.
Is the best bet. Yeah. Because I held the individual in the air for a bit and I asked them, have you calmed down yet? And they said, yeah. I put them down and then kind of helped them dust off their clothes. And then they were like, no, this isn't right. Yeah, that's what they were saying. But I'm thinking, bro, your behavior wasn't right. You understand? But again, I understood because he had a build-up of issues that had caused him to drink that much in the first place. Do you know what I mean? But as I said, for me, it was like he's done there's been a build-up of violations that he's carried out that has now caused me to have to escort him off the premises safely. Do you know what I mean? But build up, that's the point I'm making. Build up can become very unhealthy. But let's move on because
but I also think sorry to cut you, we're gonna move on. But I also think that sometimes a mental build up can contribute to an individual to display mental abuse on somebody else because they are trapped in a particular violation.
That's where I was going with it, Marie. So when I was saying let's move on, I was going in that direction, and you just took it there. Go on, continue.
So yeah, I just feel that.
Yes, Marie, go on.
Whatever violation, whatever situation, whatever incident, they had never moved from there mentally.
No.
So every person, no matter how nice, how good you are to them, they're treating you. That's an abuse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because of what's happened to them, that they haven't been able to get the right support to release.
Come on.
And sometimes some people may not always realize that's what's happened, that's what they're displaying. But then there are some people out here, they're well aware of what they are doing. They're trying to damage innocent people mentally because they have been, so it's so wrong to say, but they have been damaged some way.
Yeah.
Instead of getting the help, support that they need, they're out here trying to damage more people, and that's not fair. And we have to be careful how we do deal with individuals, because that one person that you're playing the emotional abuse on, that person can go and take their life because you don't know where they're coming from. So we need to be careful. And you know, they would define like emotional abuse. They can say that can be linked into how some people who have narcissist characteristic behaviors that's what they do to their, I don't want to be called a victim, but that's what they do to people who they have targeted.
Yeah.
They use the mind game because they want to control them. You know, they want to have some kind of dominion over them, which, why would you want to have dominion over someone? Why?
Yeah, you know, it's serious, because as I said, when I say let's move on, I'm so glad, but you just moved right on to where I was going, because we was going to go back to the mental abuse. And like you said, because some people are staying in a situation psychologically, yeah, they haven't moved on from that situation psychologically. They're living there. That's their location. That's their address. Yeah, that's their address.
Even though they may have, wherever it occurred, they are no longer in that environment. They may no longer even be around the same kinds of people, but they are not choosing to have the opportunity to say, do you know what? All right, that was then. I can't do nothing about it now, but I've been given an opportunity. This is where I am today. They've taken the old mindset and situation and just come into the present time and a new environment.
Facts. It's deep. That right there is very deep, and it's like, I would say, be careful where you live. Yeah, because if you are living in a moment in the past, yeah, and you know that you have got a whole mansion to go and move in, yeah, with space for your kids to have bouncy castles out there, and, you know, inflatables and apparatus, yeah, then you can have your area where you can have, you know, your jerk pan and them thing there, and your little garden chairs or garden sofas, you know what I mean? You can have like a gazebo or one of them, you know, wooden like tent kind of things, and you can have your ambient lighting out there, and you know what I mean, you can have your Bluetooth speaker thumping to rhythm, you know what I mean.
No, we're having jazz,
like oh yeah,
soothing jazz.
You're playing your soothing jazz. Then yeah, you might even all have a little pond or something, you know what I mean, with some exotic fish, you know what I mean, and some nice lights hanging around there and stuff like that. That is where you could live. Yeah, big kitchen with sliding doors, yeah, big unit in the middle. Do you know what I mean? Ambient spotlights around the bottom of the cupboard.
You got so much space in the kitchen, you're thinking, I need more stuff in the kitchen.
Why would you be living in a prison cell when you could live in there? So that's what we're trying to say. There's freedom. We're using the mansion as a figure of speech to say that is an element of freedom. Yeah. So be careful where you live. You don't have to psychologically be in a prison cell or psychologically be in a hospital bed. Yeah. You can actually move into freedom, or it could be where are you traveling? You could travel to where you want to travel to because you've moved on. Do you know what I mean? That is the truth. But a lot of the time we stay in there, and because it's hard to let certain things slide, or, you know, the process of things being resolved may be difficult.
I think it's got to do also to accepting, and, you know, that also, because I went through a situation this week where, you know, I was like, why, or this message, and then it's like, there was a moment where I had a conversation and it was just like, okay, it's accepting what it is. And I think sometimes when you accept that's how it is, that's when you begin to release it, because you're just like, all right, it is what it is. It may not be, when you're accepting stuff, it doesn't mean that you're happy with the outcome. It could be very hurtful, very painful. But the fact that you're accepting it, you're giving yourself the opportunity to move forward now and not keep you stagnant.
Facts. Yeah, you have to be careful where you live and be careful where you stay. Yeah, be careful where you stay. I'm not saying things don't need to be addressed, no. But if something hasn't been addressed in the time that you want it to be addressed, be careful what effects it's having upon you and those around you. So, for example, I've seen parents, for example, you know, they've gone through trouble with their child's other parent, and they're upset and stuff, and they're living in that moment, and they're letting it affect them, they're letting it affect the child and everything else. Like you said earlier, Marie, you get to a stage where you say you don't care because you can't afford to care. You've got to take care of Special K. How you're caring about something so much, now you're neglecting Special K. God forbid.
Yeah, no,
we're not doing that.
No.
We're not doing that. You have to look after your princess. You have to look after your children. But
sometimes when I say, just for example, when I say, oh, I don't care, it doesn't mean that I'm not hurting about it. I'm not entertaining it. That's what I'm saying. I've got to keep on. I will address things within myself and within my own time. But when I say I don't care, it's because right now I've got no choice to keep things moving. I don't have time to be feeling like, oh, but my life. No.
To be feeling broken.
Yeah. Like, no, we all will feel pain. Yes, I can feel pain. But then I think maybe that's where I have like the mental wealth mentality and just like, boy.
Oh, Larry.
Let's just keep it moving then, isn't it? That will always normally be my conclusion after it. Gotta keep it moving. I feel also it is what it is. Don't talk to me then. I don't care. You're not paying my bills.
Nah.
Yeah, I just kind of,
Yeah, that's how we gotta be. Gotta be, because if it's not, any dead wood's gotta go.
Yeah, and if it's not if it's not making my head light, why am I carrying blocks of wood on my head for? No, thank you.
Dead wood could be a person. Dead wood could be, you know, a job. Dead wood could be a situation, you know, / violation. You know, dead wood could be anything that is holding you back. Dead wood could be a habit. Yeah. Dead wood could be so many things that is stopping you from getting to where you actually need to get to. Do you know what I mean? So let's rid the dead wood. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And get from strength to strength. But Marie, I wanted to touch on the mental wealth now, because you see that there. That's what I want to hear a little piece about, because we need to encourage the listeners them.
Because I was saying to Jordan today, like, we hear of Mental Health Week, and, you know, as I said, in last month they had the mental health awareness and the theme was anxiety. So I was like, no, we need to...
I was about to take a sip, then I stopped. I was like, what did he say?
They said their theme for the Mental Health Week was anxiety.
What?
Yeah.
So that is... Wait, whose organisation was this?
I saw it on Google. I didn't even go that deep, because when I saw it, I said, you know what, come on.
So Google are saying it's Mental Health Week, and
when it was last month.
When it was last month.
And the theme
is anxiety.
Yeah.
So why couldn't the theme be overcoming anxiety rather than...
It just said anxiety.
They just said anxiety. The theme was anxiety.
Just
like,
said,
oh, you know.
So then anxiety. I said, you know what? Yeah. We need to have we might have to introduce this, Jordan. We might need to have a mental wealth awareness week.
That sounds good to me.
And our theme would be change the narrative.
Change the narrative, 100%.
I couldn't believe it. But yes, so mental wealth can be defined as building positive well-being as an individual and a community. So, as I used to say to some people that I know, you need to renew your mind. I will spend time, if I'm feeling quite heavy mentally, then I kind of go, this is just me. I will pull myself away sometimes and I'll listen to like gospel music or a bit of jazz, or I'll divulge more into reading my Bible, or I listen to like some preaching and different things on that path to help me. That's what helps me. However, I start to block out things which are like start to make me feel a bit overwhelmed. No, I change that. If it means I have to start laughing, I start laughing again. I have to change my mindset. And then it says a mental balance with support. For example, you might get support from a counselor. Now, I think sometimes in our community we think, oh, like counselor. Let me tell you something, yeah. I said today I passed my assignment. I'm studying to become a counselor. And just from the way how I interact with those who are close to me, that's how I realize I do have some of these skills that's needed as a counselor. And counseling is not about you're going crazy. No, it's having a safe place to have, they call it a helping relationship, where you talk about what you are going through, and the role of the counselor is to support you as the individual to reflect on what you've said in order to find positive steps to make change occur in your life. Therapy, which is same as counseling, it's not about you're going loopy-loo. In today's society, not everybody has a close relationship with family or friends. So if you can have a counselor that can listen to you to help you to release what you've been carrying, go down that path. I'm not fully qualified yet, but when I am, I'll let you guys know.
Yep.
Cool. So, and the next thing he was saying as well is, like talk to trusted friends and family or other multi-professional trained individuals who could be in your life to help you. It talks about fitness. I remember I was going through a very difficult situation. I went to the gym. I went to the gym in the morning time, in the afternoon, in the evening time. And it was just, even though I was toning up, I realized mentally it was decluttering.
Oh, come on.
And then I realized, oh yeah, I did tone up, but that wasn't the aim. It was to declutter my mind.
Yeah.
Then also we've got diet. Sometimes the things we are consuming, the food that we're eating, can have an impact. Just like Jordan said today about, what we eat. Not only just like, what you're digesting. And your diet, as Jordan said, we're not going to just look at it as the food we're taking, but mentally. If you're sitting down, screening through negativity, how do you expect to have a healthy mental balance? How do you expect to have that? So, and then it goes, it also involves an aspect of ourselves that is changeable. I always used to say to those who are close to myself that if there's things you can't change, leave that in God's hands. But what you can change, try and do that. Right. If I know so that I can change, I don't know, the water that I put into my car, drinking water, I'm going to change that. If I can't change something else, I have to leave it. I'm not going to stress about something that is out of my control. What is within reason, then you work on that. It doesn't matter if it takes you a small section, little by little. Take your time. Take your time. So it's managed for you. So like to change your mindset, to have the ability to manage various elements of your life in order to maintain a balance and to have harmony again. So it's trying to find a different way of, if you're saying you're feeling anxious, try and identify what is it that's making you anxious? Really, that you're nervous about something. What is it that you're nervous about? Is it something that you can change? If it's something you can't change, then you just got to deal with what's in front of you. It might be easy for me to say this because I may not be going through a situation like that. However, I'm just sharing an opinion out here at the moment. But yeah, so we need to, like, if they say like, oh, I don't know, like, whatever, like, if I'm feeling like, I'm really feeling, I don't want to use the D word, you know, the down word, yeah? Because I'm not calling that on myself. Then how do you reverse that? Put on some music that make liven yourself up, isn't it? You know, go for a walk in the park. I've even noticed when you go for a walk in the park, it's like the trees are just pulling all the negativity out of your head. Find something that helps you to release what could be heavy on you. However, there could be deeper issues. As I said, if possible, within your community, your borough, try tap into different multi-professionals who are out there, who are trained and educated to help. If possible, you know, there's places you can go to via like children's centers that can give you advice and support. You know, I know that sometimes the job centers do, but I know there's various places. Yeah, so just try and find a way to help to overcome. Yes, Jordan.
You know what, Marie? It's so deep because, yeah, you know, I always say it's deep because the mental wealth is something that we are advocating for and we are encouraging and we're pushing hard, yeah? Now, when I reflect on my day, yeah, I remember I said I was going to talk about my day a bit later on. Today, wonderful listeners, I spent the day at the head office of Coca-Cola. Yeah? My cousin went to do a speech. I went to support him, you know, and help him with some of the speech and demonstrations and stuff that we were doing with the presentation. Yeah? Because we had a presentation to deliver. This individual, my cousin, has been through a lot of things in life. Yeah, a severe accident that caused him to be paralyzed. Yeah, now with him being paralyzed, it was like, well, and 80% paralyzed, by the way, 80% paralyzed, top collarbone, like top chest down, everything here is offline in terms of his maneuvers. He's just got his top chest, shoulders, arms, and a little bit of his back that works, but other than like across that chest line, it's all, you know what I mean, he's paralyzed below there. So he's only got 20% of a working body left. And it was like, it's happened at a time when he's in his prime in his life. 25 years old, motorcycle accident, that was it. Yeah, paralyzed. And his rehabilitation was 7 months, yeah, in the hospital. Then he has to reintegrate back into society, coming from having the time of his life to now being paralyzed, yeah. And he was already a father at that time as well. So you're being a protector and all that stuff, and a father and stuff, and then now paralyzed, yeah. So him being a tall man, 6'4" or 6'3", however tall he is, now sitting in a wheelchair, his daughter is in his face region because he's sitting down in the wheelchair and the daughter is around his height. Yeah. So everything he's thinking, like, I gotta protect my daughter, like, you know what I mean, and getting on with life. It wasn't easy. Yeah, it was not easy. Yeah, but the man has qualified as a wheelchair racer in the Team GB development squad, and he's heading to Paralympics. Yeah, it's not an easy journey, But this is what we were at Coca-Cola's head office all day talking about. The process.
And he didn't allow himself from having that injury, the accident, I should say. He could have said, that's it. That's it. I can't move like how I used to. That's a big impact on his life. It's a whole different transformation. But he chose to have a mental wealth mentality. He didn't decide to be depressed, anxious, low, bad, which would be understandable because of what his body's gone through. He wasn't born like this.
I was just going to say that. If someone wanted to start claiming mental health over themselves, it would have been him. It could have been him.
Which would have been understandable.
Yeah, because, you know, that crash on that motorbike was a psychological crash, a physical crash, a spiritual crash, everything crash. Yeah, at that moment in time. And that's coming from in your prime. Yeah, prime. And, you know, back then, after he came out, he and I, we sat down and said, look, we got to make it big here. Yeah, because it's sink or swim. Yeah. And I'll tell you this, there were some people that had come to me and said, why are you spending so much time with him? You should be focusing on your own life. That's what even family saying about family, you know, like, why are you spending...
Yeah, it's like there's like, well, you know, there's not really much.
Yeah.
So just focus on you now.
Yeah. Because that's what they're saying. Like, he's 80% paralyzed. Yeah. Like, you've got your own life. You're able-bodied, Jordan. Why don't you focus on you? Yeah. That's what some of these lot were saying. I said, look, we've got a vision and we've got to get to it. See when I see him on Team GB now, and you know what I mean, he's doing his international competitions and stuff like that, yeah, and he drives to some of these places, like he drives to Switzerland and all them kind of stuff there.
I was asking Jordan the other day because I was so intrigued.
80% paralyzed. He drives to Switzerland and all that stuff.
I said, like, does he have someone in the car? Like,
no, he just gets on with it. I mean, on the odd occasion, he might be with another teammate, but that's on the odd occasion. And then sometimes they might share the driving and stuff like that, but that's on the odd occasion. Because more time, those other athletes in his team, they want to drive their own car when they're in another country too. When they drive to France, here, they just get on with it. Yeah. And my mum was like, what? Like, how did he get there? So he drove all the way to Switzerland. But what I'm saying to my mum is, because I'm around more people who are in wheelchairs, because of him being around more people in wheelchairs and him being in a wheelchair, this is a normal thing. There's a lot of people in wheelchairs who drive, and when you're driving up and down, you don't know that that's a wheelchair user. And they're getting on with it. A lot of these people could be like, oh, you know what, life's over, you know, I might as well pull the plug, yeah, or I might as well be horrible to everyone because, you know, my life's over or whatever. These lot are like, look, no one gives a damn, no one cares, we just gotta get on with it. Some people ain't gonna care that we're paralyzed. Some people ain't gonna care that we're in a wheelchair. Some people ain't gonna care that I'm an amputee. Some people ain't gonna care that I've got cerebral palsy. Some people ain't gonna care that I've got multiple sclerosis. Some people ain't gonna care that I've got a severe case of scoliosis and my spine's twisted and, you know, look like a question mark. No disrespect, but I'm saying that's what the spine looks like, a question mark. My nephew has got scoliosis. My sister's got scoliosis. Though their cases aren't severe, I can see where their back is twisted. Yeah. So it's like you give the first acknowledgement to what you're going through, and then other people react the same way. So how my man shut down the talk at Coca-Cola, yeah, they're like, we want you lot to come back, yeah, and I'm like, no, that, you know what I mean? But it's because we went there with intention. Yeah, God opened the door and we went there with intention. Yeah, and we allowed our giftings to be demonstrated. Yeah, with a mental wealth mindset. And some of these people who we were in the room with, on salaries of 50 grand, 100 grand, like plus, like some of the top HR people in Coca-Cola in the London office, like I'm there liaising with, they're saying, Jordan, I want to come to your poetry shows.
Which will be coming up very soon.
I told them about Just Cool Radio. I said, tune in to Just Cool Radio. And watch Evening Talks and watch everyone else's show. Big up all the DJs and everyone on Just Cool Radio. Anton, drop a bomb on them. Big up.
And we must say to the other
colleagues
DJs,
on Just Cool Radio,
we are all going to meet up very soon because we're looking forward to meeting you guys. We've heard that some of you guys do tune in, so thank you so much.
Big up. Because I'm saying, Coca-Cola might need you to come DJ at their parties. They might need Anton Too Bad to spin Too Bad tune at their parties them. You know what I mean? Because that was what was missing. Imagine we're on the roof terrace up there at Coca-Cola,
And the summer's nice today.
Sun was nice today. Bare food, bare drink. Because we didn't even intend to stay so long, but they were so mesmerized, they were like, you guys have to stay and just have some refreshments with us. Like, you have to stay. We've got so much food and drink. Like, please stay. And in my head, I'm like, yo, I don't want to, we got radio, you know what I mean? Don't want Marie to tell me off. You know what I mean? So, but the point I'm making is we had a blast and everyone was saying stuff like, you know what, I thought I had, some major problems, but, after hearing that talk today, like, really put things into perspective. Because these are people who are on like 80 grand and not like 80% paralyzed, for example. And that's 80 grand. Their husband is on an 80, 100 or whatever, and or their wife is on an 80 or 100 or whatever, and everyone around them's on an 80 or 100 bags. Everyone's on that kind of thing. So if they're only around people that are, homeowners, like, got everything going for themselves, got other businesses, got passive income, like they got, imagine that 80 grand or whatever, obviously they're using that to, and these people work in marketing, so obviously they've got their own businesses that they're marketing. Some of the stuff that they're liaising with me with, I'm like, what? Like, I need some of your expertise on the marketing. But they're like, I want to hear your poetry. Like, I'm like, well, let's work. Yeah, let's work. Yeah, what do you think I came here for? To stand there looking like a stop sign? Do you know what I mean? We're on mental wealth and mental wealth building. So there are some people out there who, could listen, there was a blind lady there, She had, the stick, to help her, navigate. And there was someone who was like helping her maneuver and stuff as well, and the lady was like, do you know what, I didn't quite get to see your presentation because I'm blind, but I heard everything and I was just wondering, like, can I touch your race chair? And he was like, yeah, of course you can. And then he like guided her hand, you know what I mean, and she was like, oh my gosh, like the wheels are really thin, like, and the photographer's taking pictures of the blind lady talking to the paralyzed man. But that lady is not blind. She's working at Coca-Cola. So though she may be visually impaired and cannot see out of her eyes, all her other senses are working crystal clear.
So she didn't say, well, because I'm blind, let me just be deflated. No, she wasn't having it. She had the mental wealth mentality.
She had the mental wealth. When I saw the lady who's visually impaired, blind, talking to the man who's paralyzed on Team GB. Remember, blind, working in some top team in Coca-Cola, blind. And then you got the man who's 80% paralyzed, and them lot are having an intellectual conversation, and he's on Team GB. I said, you know what? A lot of the things we concentrate on actually are not as serious. They're not as important. We give too much life to foolishness.
Yep. Definitely. And it's just like I was saying to Jordan today, like this morning, we all have woken up and it's like, you don't know what's going to happen an hour from now, 10 minutes from now. Do we really have time to be wasting on senseless things? Like, I'm not saying that what you're going through as an individual is not important. No, I'm not saying that. But is it enough for you to just be deflated when there's so much to go for now? So much.
It's not easy. It's not easy. I just got a phone call from a friend who is hold on one second, let me just see if she, hold on, let me, yeah, sorry, yeah, that message just came through, but it was someone who I wanted to hear from on this topic here about the manipulation side of what
the mental abuse.
The mental abuse.
Yes.
Yeah, the manipulation that comes with the mental abuse. And I'll just kind of give a bit of background because this person may or may not call. But what happened was this lovely young lady, she's a parent, she's got 2 children, and exceptional parent as well. Very, very much invest in her children, yeah. Puts a lot of skills and good traits into her children, yeah. They're not just playing video games all day. Nah, I'm being serious. She really.
No offense.
Oh, says she can call in.
Lovely.
We're gonna get her online.
So in the meantime, as we got a few more minutes left before our show ends, we're going to give our studio number again, which is 07379 529 412. I repeat again, 07379 529 412. And we also have another studio number, which is 07904 598 848. I'll give that one out again as well. 07904 598 848. So if you don't want to actually call in live, then you can also send a text message. We have various social media platforms that you can message in if you want to. You might want to interact with myself and Jordan. You might want to throw us a question. You might want to tell us about your experience. We're here to empower each other, so feel free to interact with us.
Yep. So, we should have the call coming in anytime now. But again, it's about the manipulation. Yeah, that should be called now. Yeah, it's about the manipulation side of things, and how society is trying to encourage this very. You got it? Oh no. Okay, cool. It's about how society is encouraging the mental abuse.
I would say it's like a narrative that society is saying that, oh, it's okay. No. Because I was, just as you're saying that, Jordan, as well as like looking into like mental health and mental wealth and mental abuse, I also had to look at the impact that they say mental health have on children. Now, I know that children are going through so much, so I'm not here to downplay anything a child that is going through. But some of the things that I've heard differently, I just think it's really down to, it could be just some firm, like, tough love. Not even tough love, but discipline. Some of it is about firm discipline, as well as just, there could be various factors. And I know that in society, it's like the child have the right to be heard, yes, But however, society that we're living in, children are aware that if they say a particular thing, they're able to get their desired results. So we have to make a balance, you know, in when we're saying if a child has got mental health as well. Sometimes it could be just behavior that needs to be changed, where you might need to help them to know how to go forward instead of allowing them, which could result to something negative. So, as we'll be waiting for our caller to call in.
You know what? It's my fault, you know, because I put one digit wrong, you know. So, yeah, so that's about to ring. Yeah. Oh, it's working now. Yeah. Oh. Okay, cool.
Hello.
Nah, you know what? It's hold on.
Hello. Hello. Welcome to Evening Talks.
Hello. Or can we call their number, Anton? Yeah. Do you know what? Let us call their number. That's it there. Yeah, cheers.
Sorry, viewers.
Sorry.
This is just live radio. This happens sometimes. We do not live in a perfect world, and this is what happens sometimes.
Oh, we got it going on. Going on. All right.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Evening Talks.
Evening.
Good evening.
Evening. So, we got a champion on the line here. We got a champion, but we're not gonna say the champion's name, yeah?
Yes.
But we got a champion on the line. And first of all, welcome to Just Cool Radio. We're very, very happy to have you calling in on Evening Talks this evening with Jordan and Marie. So, Marie, the topic today was
mental health or mental abuse.
Yes, so it's mental health or mental abuse. And as we have explored many aspects of mental health this evening, we've looked at some of the definitions and stuff. Obviously, mental health is a very wide topic, so we haven't covered everything. That's impossible for us to do.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we're also making everyone aware we are not medical professionals on this matter. Yeah. But we're here for the community, and we know that it's something that's going on within our community. So the other aspect that we're looking at is the mental abuse. Now, you, champion, who have called in, we understand that you're a mother.
Yeah.
And we understand that you also are a carer, special guardianship. Am I correct?
Foster carer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for a young child who is your relative, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So just to give the audience and our wonderful listeners a bit of background knowledge. So one of your family members, your cousin, who passed away sadly at a tender age, she left 2 children, and one of her children live with you, yeah?
Yeah.
So what we are aware of is that the authorities have got involved, obviously, hence you've got her and you're now a foster carer. So what we wanted to explore was the agenda of the system who have, children in care and, do their assessments of who's eligible for foster carers and how they actually deal with the children who are in foster care, and what type of character and personality are they encouraging and developing within these children with the type of things they say and the type of things that they allow and their strategies. So we are aware that you are an amazing mother. You look after your children in amazing fashion and invest skills in them. Just in a great way. Great role model.
Yeah,
And
thank
the
you.
authorities are aware of this, and they have a lot of meetings with you and stuff like that. But due to the nature of the sort of things your family member who you're looking after, fostering, has seen, sometimes her behavior can be very
Challenging.
colourful. Yeah,
Yeah.
very,
Challenging.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What can you just tell us a little bit about the type of perspective the authority? We're not going to say the name of the borough, but
Yeah.
what type of things you're hearing in meetings when the child is playing up and manipulating the
Yeah.
situation? Can you just tell us a little bit about how the system are dealing with it and how they're encouraging you to allow her to be how she is because she's traumatized, quote unquote, which I'm not saying she isn't, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
when you know the difference of her pushing the barriers, you're like, well, my children can't get away with this, but you want me to treat her differently and allow
Yeah.
her to get away with. Yeah, so if you could just give us a bit of background on how that is looking.
So basically, when it comes to the authorities, they kind of see it as these children are just numbers to them. They don't care about the individual case. It's just a number to them. That's first things first. I say it because everyone suffers from different things while they're in the system. But remember, for them, it's about the money. So a lot of people don't get to do fostering because it costs more to foster. To pay your foster care, it costs more. That's why they push everyone to do special guardianship. So that's the first thing that you're met with. And special guardianship isn't enough help because you only get a social worker for 2 years. And then after that, you're left by yourself. Now, if this child's behavior gets worse, to handle, and that leaves you in a position where you can no longer look after them, they go straight into the system. So the relationship is already broken down. But what happens in these meetings is like they basically tell you this behavior is expected. It's expected, you have to deal with it. It could get worse as they get older due to the levels of trauma they had at what age they had it at, or whatever they've gone through.
So have they put any, sorry to cut you, have they
That's
given
okay.
you any like strategies and how to manage?
Not so much strategies. They will give you various training courses to go on, but the training courses, it helps you understand more of maybe how the child may think, but it doesn't help you in the practical. So let's just say you're at your house and that child is doing a tantrum at that moment. It doesn't tell you how to manage that. Those training courses don't really help you because let's just say you're trying to talk to that child, but that child is breaking things in your house. But remember, you can stop them, but you can't be forceful because what happens is, what if they go back now and say, you've done this, you've done that?
Or you restrained in a
Do you
particular way?
understand?
Yeah.
They don't teach you to restrain them. You can't restrain them.
No,
so
you
essentially,
can't. Yeah.
You are allowing them to behave in a way where it's going to create a monster as they get older, to an extent. Because remember, when it's your own children, you are able to discipline in a way and not necessarily put your hand on them, but it's your child. So you can speak to them in a manner where they will understand and they will get it, they've gone too far. Without them going back to the authorities and saying, my mum pulled me up for this and that. But with looked after children, they hear so much in these meetings. They know what they're allowed to do and what they can't do.
Yeah.
So you're feeling threatened constantly because anything you do, you're on eggshells. You don't want to say anything that's going to make them too uncomfortable. But then what do you say? So this is where the authorities, for me, it's like they're lacking in that area because they obviously are just treating it like a broad overall system, basically. Because remember, there's children in the system that have been abused. So they have to put things in place to cater for all children. But it doesn't work for all children.
So
that's the problem you're left with.
What would you say the dangers are of the approach that the system have by saying, oh, they've been through trauma, so just let them be like this. Meanwhile, your own children, you wouldn't allow them to get away with stuff, because they will say to you, love this child like your own. So you're supposed to love the child like your own, but then on the flip side, when it comes to correcting the child like your own, you can't correct
your child like your own.
I think when people see this here, they think like it's easy to love a child like your own. It's not. Remember, when you've had your child, you've gone through so many experiences with your child. That's what brings the love. When you're looking after a random child, generally you care for that child. You're going to show that child love. But to say it as if it's your own, no, they've already got characteristics of whoever their parents. You will see those characteristics. That's not anything like you. So you have to adjust to those characteristics. It might not necessarily allow you to love that child, but you care for that child. So that's a bit of it's a sticky one, but that's just the reality of it.
So in terms of, like, let's say for example, I know you said it would, it could create monsters, later on. What would you say the agenda is for the authorities having this perspective? What would their agenda, like, what dangers would their agenda have, if you like, on these children in the next 10 years if all foster carers follow this kind of program, like, oh, they've gone through trauma, so don't treat them like your own. Like, for example, oh, they've gone through trauma, so don't do it like this, don't do it like that. Meanwhile, most of these people don't have children, and if they do, they're only following the book and the script that they're telling you
the narrative,
to. Meanwhile, they might really correct their children in the correct way, for example. So, what can you see? What, being a foster carer, what can you foresee, like, for those who are not as strong as you to maintain your stance and keep the parental discipline line there?
To be honest, I would say you cannot treat a child like they've gone through trauma, because you're essentially, especially if you've got other children around, everyone can see you're treating that child different. That child can feel that they're being treated differently,
and that can have another impact on them as well.
Do you understand? And then you can go in the wider world, and someone might not care what you've gone through. So imagine now you don't get that level of attention which the authorities want you to give this child. You're not going to go everywhere and get that attention. So when you go there, what does your behavior look like when you don't get that attention? Because remember, these children in the system, they seek attention. They want attention. That's their thing. They never got the attention they needed at the required time. So they want extra attention. But what does it look like? Because remember, it comes in different ways. So it might be even in a negative way. No matter what it looks like, they just want the attention. So that's why they act out. That's why they have tantrums. That's why they're angry, because they want you to give them that attention at that moment. It's cute when they're young. It's not cute when they're a teenager. And that's why there's so much children in the system when they're teenagers, because the foster carers can't handle them.
And they know in the teenage years, they know exactly how to play the system to get their desired results. Yeah.
And a lot of these children are saying that they've got mental health and some of these kind of things. But I'm saying there's different when there's something that's clinically diagnosed to when a child goes, well, I'll just tell my social worker. I'll just.
And remember, when there's so much professionals involved, they've learned how to act a certain way as well, because they're in the meetings. So they hear when they're saying, no, treat them like this. They're going to be acting like this. They're expected to act like that. So they know that when they start acting like that, it's allowed, basically.
And they know that anything they say, that the social worker, they could be lying. Anything they say, they know that the social worker will be noting it down, and that's how it goes. From the child's perspective, even though it may not be the truth.
The child's account weighs more than yours. As the foster carer. This is the
problem.
Which can actually leave the foster carer or parent with trauma.
Because they've been lied on. They've been lied on. They know how well they look after the child, and then they're being lied on. All in the name of manipulation.
Because they want mental abuse for them to get their desired the control that they want.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's deep,
100%.
man. It's deep. Well, champion, we want to thank you for calling.
Thank you so much
No
for calling.
problem.
Because you really added some serious value to our show, and we've got people who are, you know, different types of parents who listen to our show. So we are gonna explore more with foster carers, those in care,
definitely,
and stuff like that. We're gonna look into it a lot more, and you know, discuss more with some social workers and people who have been in care, and you know, a variety of people from different sides of it as well, you know, and we'll see how we'll piece it together in the near future. But Evening Talks with Josh, Jordan and Marie is here to help and serve our community. That's what we're about.
Empower and encourage
that's what we're
our
here
community.
to stand for. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We know that you won't be a stranger, you know, with us in the future. But we're wishing you all the best.
Have a blessed weekend. Thank you.
With your children, all three of them. Yeah.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Blessings.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing to hear. But you know, the child that we're talking about is a toddler. That's what's even worse. We're not talking about a 7-year-old. We're talking about someone who's 3, who knows exactly what they're doing because they can talk and string paragraphs together.
And these children nowadays are more intelligent.
They're more intelligent, man.
Some of us, when we was younger, they are very clued up now.
They're fast track, man. They're fast track.
Yes.
So it is very serious. But any foster carer out there who's been, you know, wrongly accused and stuff like that, you know, had social workers on their case and stuff like that in the past, due to how their methods are and stuff like that, to just be, you know, like limp with how you're going to correct the children and stuff like that. We'd definitely like to hear from you in the near future. Don't be shy, you know. But we want to thank everyone for tuning in. We want to thank the TikTok. We want to thank the Facebook. We want to thank the Instagram.
Live.
You know what I mean? We want to thank everyone and our global listeners.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much.
JCRSUBMIT. Yeah, but this is a big topic and there's just so much.
I think we're going to revisit this.
We're going to revisit this, man.
Yeah, because there's so much more we need to add. But I just wanted to say as well, on the 22nd of June.
Oh, yes.
We have a special guest coming in to bless us on our sofa.
Yes.
Our first guest on Evening Talk. So, ladies and gentlemen, young and old people, whoever you are, beautiful listeners, make a date in your diary for the 22nd of June on Thursday on Evening Talks with Just Judah and Marie. We have a special guest that's going to come in and bless your ears bless us here in the studio.
That's right.
So, you guys have a blessed weekend. And have a blessed weekend, and thank you for tuning in. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, the mic's on. Marie, are you ready?
Hey, Jordan. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't know if they're ready, though.
Well, let's see.